Hey, look, it's a car.
Hey there.
And you know what? I'm gonna try to put on the hood today. Ooh. Guys, here's an update, back at it again. I'm working on my 68 Caprice. I'm mocking the car up to tear it down, to most probably mock it up again. We mocked up the fenders. I made sure all my gaps are nice and tight. Had all my shims, and then what I'm doing right now is I ended up purchasing these awesome billet hinges from Eddie Motorsports. But I noticed I couldn't here, if you want to come around this way, I could not get clearance. You know, as I was bringing the hinges down, I have them loose, they were just rubbing right here on this sheet metal flange. So I'm actually, see that right there? I already grinded some, and I'm gonna keep on grinding more of it down to give me the clearance I need. We just need to be careful that we don't damage the hinges while we're doing this. I want a nice smooth, so I don't want to just eat up at it. I wanted to replicate a smooth transition so it still looks factory, you know? So I'm gonna keep on right now. I still have a little bit more to go, and I wanna keep that factory curve. So I'm gonna end up doing is bringing it out a little bit, and then this is all the factory sheet metal, that just how it came from factory. So what I'm gonna end up doing is curving this out and then smoothing this all up so it's a nice smooth transition. Let's show you on this side, because this side we didn't grind as much over here. So here, this hasn't been grinded at all. I'm gonna show you, and this is more bolted down. So look what happens here. As I'm coming down, look what I'm hitting into. I'm crashing right into that. So what I'm gonna end up doing is, I'm gonna end up smoothing this out and then creating a groove to create that channel so this hinge can go all the way down. And then once we do that, we're gonna end up getting the hood, mocking the hood up, bolting the radiator support. Even though we don't have our inner fenders, it's not a big deal. But I want to get this all squared and see how the hood lines up so we can blow the car back apart again and get it ready for paint, and then double check all the bodywork and paint the whole car. So stay tuned. Earlier on how ugly it looked. I've already gone through this a little bit, grinding it down and smoothing out all those ugly edges. Now I'm going to keep on. I still have a little bit of a clearance problem right around there. It hits. Now take into consideration, this hinge is set to the lowest setting, so even if, let's say, the hood was higher and bolted on, I wouldn't have a clearance problem. But let's take into consideration, what happens if I don't clear all that out, and then later I need to have this to the lowest setting? I'm gonna have an issue with clearance. So I'm gonna come back and continue to remove this and soften this up. So right now, if you see, I have a little point here. So it comes in, curves down, curves back out. I have a point, and it dips down. It's gonna get to a point, I have a feeling we're gonna end up just making this completely flat and even with that. So you can record here and see, you're gonna see us right now do it. And you take your time. I don't go really fast. I take my time with it and make sure. And I'm using, so this is one of the tools, battery operated. I have a lot of pneumatic tools. This is a Milwaukee. We're not sponsored by them, but I have to give them credit. This is a 3M disc, sandpaper disc. And I'm using this part that has a little flap, and that's gonna give me that nice pressure. And I just go slowly, man. You don't have to go really fast. You don't wanna burn the sandpaper. Look how nice, and I still have a little point, but look how nice that looks. So now I'm gonna come in, and again, test my hinge at the lowest settings. And you see right there, I'm binding just a hair, right there towards the end. Look at where so we're gonna keep on removing there. And you're better off doing this little by little, making sure. So even though we already have this painted, we painted this a couple years ago, it's not a big deal. We're gonna end up re-epoxying this. Now that I'm already doing this, I'm gonna most probably just, since I already have to do epoxy on this section, I'm gonna most probably do the same thing, grind here, just to kind of give me a smoother appearance. That's what we want, so perfect. Look at the clearance I have on that. Now we're gonna bolt that down, and I'm gonna show you what's up. All All right, so I got my thing. Now we're not gonna torque this down. We're just gonna tighten the bolt. Let's get this squared away. All right, cool. Got that tight. All right, cool. Let's get that off here. So the hinge is on there, and now I'm gonna test it. So look, I already ran into a problem. So coming down, not a problem, falls right into it. Now I'm opening it, and you're gonna see there, come around this way, you're gonna see this. I wanna show you, like if you want, come right over here, the corner, look into that section there, right here. See if you get the camera. So you see right that little section there, look what's gonna happen. I'm gonna open the hinge, and I'm already binding. You see that corner? So now I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna end up grinding right here to bring this in, to most probably bring it in and bring it out. So now when the hinge opens, I have clearance. Don't rush, because if you try to rush, you're gonna run into a ton of problems. And then, yeah, I know we have this paint and we're being careful with a lot of this stuff, but sometimes things happen. These we're gonna end up repainting. I have no intentions to repainting my radiator support. You just take your time, grind it, and keep on going. So when I had a clearance issue on the hood going up, right? And now we had a clearance issue with the hood opening. So now we're shaving this down more and more. So we shaved the first part down, and I'm shaving the back part. We're almost there. And then I'm hoping I don't run into any more issues, because it already bottoms out here. So I think we're good. I'm just gonna check, because the clearance right now, it's just right there. It's like a hair. You can barely see it. Come this way. Let's see if we can get you here. All right. Here, let me get this here. All right. It's in. All right. I zoomed in here. Let's get focused. All right.
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah. Look how that bolt. This might be terrible for editing. That bolt is like right there. Yeah, so we're gonna try to get that squared away. That's a lot better. I wanted to give myself a 1/16 of a clearance. Yeah, all right, cool. Now we have full clearance on this one, and this is a rough, and then we're gonna end up just doing the same exact thing I just did on this hinge on that one over there. I just have to laugh. So so I want you to look how all the original hinge is. So watch what happens. I'm open, I'm fine. Look, when I come down to close, I'm gonna bind all of this all the way through the motion. So we're gonna have to do the same thing we did over there and repeat it on this one. Yeah, all right. Let's go. All right. Look how nice and even that grind is. So I still need more clearance, but I'm gonna still come and test every once in a while. I want it to look as factory as possible. Let's test it again. Still need a little bit more. Now I'm gonna come in a little bit more in an angle. I was like this, now I'm gonna come in a little bit more at a flat angle. All right, let's see how we're at. See, we are still binding right there. Almost there, but we're gonna keep on. So we're almost there. I feel it binding somewhere. So we have clearance, but it's a hair. There we go. It's a hair, and I want to give myself a little bit more room. All right, let's bottom this out, see where we're at. Perfect. Just enough clearance for what I want. What I'll end up doing is, I'm focused on just this right now on the hinges. I'm gonna most probably come back now, since we already have the grinder in our hand, and we're just gonna clean up. You see these rough edges? Since we already have to epoxy this down here, we're gonna come. We're gonna just clean up all this factory, from the factory from 1968, just clean up all these hard edges. So, same thing again, I'm gonna end up, you see, this is just the way it was stamped. So this was just the way it's stamped. You see these little peaks here? So I'm gonna just come in carefully. I have the hinge here. I'm gonna carefully come in here. Soften that up here. Let's see here, we have a little bit here. So we're gonna turn this around. Let's adjust this. Give me a little bit, and I wanna use the flat part. Nothing big, but you see a big difference from having those really high points. And I'll come back and then come and just come back, and I'm gonna come back with a little file and just file a little bit of this edge. But I ended up coming back and at an angle just to kind of give it a little bit of that round edge. And I'll come back with a file and just file this a little bit so it has that same contour. But since we were already grinding this, I took advantage, I had this just to clean this up a little bit more and have it look a little bit more presentable. Remember, this is not a show car. I'm not building a show car. I'm building on just a really nice, clean street car. I want to make sure this car is looking A1. So at least when I'm driving around and I'm at a show or a hangout, I want to pop open my hood, I can appreciate the little details I ended up putting into this project. Put a little bit of WD-40.
A little spritz, a little lube in the hole.
Oh, push that fender in.
See, you needed me on this side.
All right, cool. All right. Hey, we have a special guest. Hello.
Hey, special guest on the camera.
It doesn't matter.
Oh.
Hell no. What's up, baby?
Yeah, that's why I sit over here.
How may I help you? Just watching? So we added a little bit of WD-40. So these have been painted. I'm gonna end up chasing these threads, but I'm putting a little bit of WD-40 because I really didn't get a lot of paint buildup, but I wanna mock this radiator support up and end up putting on the radiator support, the front nose clip, and then install the hood so I can kind of give or take align the hood and see how all my gaps were doing for this one. I ended up switching this out because I was doing this first manually just to start it, but I saw the buildup is good. It wasn't really bad. So do that, come in here. I just want to kind of put a little bit here. Put this here. So even though we still have to paint a lot, I'm using WD-40, you know, we run the risk of contaminating with fisheye, but I'm really thorough, I don't get it everywhere. Plus, when I'm ready to paint this again, we're gonna end up washing this really good with Dawn soap. Dawn is one of the good soaps that we've used in the past that actually cuts grease really, really, really well. So this, we already have a problem. I can tell that this radiator support, this hose is pulling me back a little bit. So I'm gonna push this in. So let's do this here. So we had a little bit of resistance there. That means that there's tension here. I'm most probably gonna have to align this or loosen up this hose here just to give me a little bit more, because there's a little bit more tension than I should have here. And that's gonna cause a problem when it comes to aligning this later. So I'm gonna loosen this up, drop this in, push this in here, and see. Yeah. So most probably I have this as a little twisted. So I'll most probably loosen up and shim this out and flex this out. So we have this, and we have our header panel. Let's remove this. No. Yeah.
One of the guys, or two of the guys, haven't moved but there was some that were taking their fingers.
Even though I tighten the fenders up, I'm gonna most probably loosen up. Yeah, perfect. I'm gonna loosen up my fender here just to give me room so I can put in the header panel. See, I can push my header panel out. Same thing here. Radiator support. Cool. And then we come in here nicely. Boom, perfect, you see? Now I'll come in here. So I already previously did all the body work of this car before I tore it apart. Made sure I did the body work on all my panels at the same time. And I ran filler across all the lines so everything was laser straight. Then I blew the car apart, started jam colors in, and then I'll double check on my body work. You know, this car, the fender's been rolling around for a while. The header panel's been thrown around in a corner for a while. You know, you're talking about, I took this car apart and these parts have been, I want to say, sitting around for 2 years. So now I'll double check everything, guide coat the whole car again. And obviously you're gonna catch dents here and there because as you're moving stuff around, or I had this stuff in my house, so my kids could have most probably knocked into it or whatever the case is, and they might not notice it. This is now the time for you to double check everything and make sure all your gaps are right, your tolerances are right. And take your time. Sometimes you gotta do this a couple of times so you get it right. I don't tie it completely. I give me enough clearance so I can adjust things and play with my, leave it a little loose so I can adjust all my clearance and move things around. now, as I'm pushing this up, I'm kind of, all right. Make sure that's good. I'm gonna bring this out a hair. Same thing here. I'm gonna bring this out a hair. I wanna make sure this is nice and high. Same thing. All right, cool, we have that. All right. So now we're gonna tighten down the radiator support down and see where we're at there. So take into consideration, we still might need to shim. We might need to shim still the radiator between the fenders, but I'd rather just see where we're at as is. Put the shocks onto the hinges and then start adjusting everything. Hey, look, it's a car.
Hey there.
Tell me, when was the last time?
The last time it looked like a car? Probably 2 years ago.
Look how nice. I'm still thinking I would love to do
A Phantom grill?
a Phantom grill. Oh, tell me that wouldn't look killer on a car like this.
I love Phantom grill.
I wanted to do the hideaway headlight grill, but bro, they're too expensive, man.
You can buy another car. You can buy a stock 68 convertible. So you can find the front clip for with a hideaway light.
I think when I found the hideaway lights, they wanted like 15K.
And they need to be restored, like chromed and painted. And
So I talked to Albert Diablo.
they can do the Phantom grill.
Yeah, but they need the car.
Oh. There has to be somebody here that can make that too.
You know, if I take the car to a show there, I wouldn't mind leaving it and having them
Finish
do
it and then have them add the... Oh yeah, that would be...
Coño, Javi, it's coming together pretty good.
Coño, bro. I'm happy to see it finally coming together.
And you know what? I'm gonna try to put on the hood today.
Ooh. But why?
Why? Because I need to mock up the hood.
But when you're gonna take apart the whole front end anyway.
Yeah, but I need to make sure everything's squared. I've never had these hinges on.
Oh.
So I'd rather...
Because you're gonna go through the hassle of lining it up and then you're twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sucks.
Whatever you feel is the right thing to do, bro.
It sucks, but... I'd rather do it, take the extra steps.
No, you're right. When you're right, you're right.
From you, I never hear that from you. Yeah, it is pretty simple. Then you put on...
That's it.
And you, that's the easiest. Adjustment. This thing, they screw this unscrews for you to extend the. Oh, you know the mission this is gonna be? Like you can unscrew this.
But that's just for height.
Let's see. This is gonna. Alright, come on, bro. Let me know. Bro, am I just not built for this? The back went on so good. Or did I put this on backwards? Yeah, put this on backwards. I didn't want to go on because obviously this goes here. And this. See guys? camera's not even looking at me, bro. Can you adjust that camera?
Well, I was kind of looking at you.
No, I don't think it caught it.
Yeah, it did. It was.
I did?
Yeah. I mean, it didn't look at you maybe as tight as you wanted it to, but
No, just so they can see the struggle.
the struggle's real.
Alright, bro, building these cars. We talked about it on the podcast. So the whole point of us doing this too, when we're building the cars, is to figure how the mic and mic can document us doing this.
Tropical Glitz, I'm help.
Go. Boy, that shit is on there. I might have to grind a little bit more. You guys see the struggle I'm going through? That is no joke. Alright. So it's funny, I'm gonna show you guys. I've never installed these. Maybe the audio. Get this on here. I've never installed these before. So these hinges, or these shocks, you see how they unscrew here and unscrew here? I'm hoping that this is not really for adjustment. I'm hoping that this is just for how they come. But look, if I tighten them up, one is going to be uneven or not. So I'm going to try to bottom these out as close as possible, install them, and see how it goes. Let's go around this way, so you guys can see what's up. So we might have to grind a little bit more on the passenger side, but right now I'm just gonna try to tighten these. And see where we're at with the hood. All right. What am I hearing? Yep. So it's still rubbing a hair. We're gonna end up just grinding that down. Let's get this shock on. So on the other side, I ended up putting the shock like this, and I couldn't get this side in because I had it backwards. This actually has to go like this, so the body of the shock sits on this empty side. It has like a little cotter safety pin here. Take it out and come back in here. Has safety. Bring in the hood hinge a little close so I can do the same thing over here. All right, and then next step would be actually getting the hood and bolting it on. just threw the hood on. We have it adjusted to the rear settings on the hinge. And we have a little problem. I want to show you real quick here. Drop this down. We are just hitting our header panel. What do you think? That's like half an inch of some sort right there.
Well, you're like about a little bit more than a quarter inch.
So what we're gonna end up doing, but we have no more room towards the back. I'm gonna take off the header panel. I wanna bring the hood completely down. I wanna see how far am I to the back edge and figure out, you know, I really don't wanna mill this. We're gonna end up calling the customer service team from Eddie Motorsports. But I wonder if us notching down here, we still have some room down here. If notching this will help us try to bring it in, because the geometry of this has like a way that it swoops into the car. Let's try to remove the header panel and see where we're at.
Go there so it doesn't fall off.
It's pretty on there with pressure. But yeah, hold it there. Let's see where we're at.
Well, you need the hinge to actually collapse down.
Push down on the back.
No, bro, that shock is not right. Hey, the shock is super hard.
All right.
Like too hard almost.
All right, I can remove that one. Hold the hood because I'm gonna end up.
Go. Take the shock. You want me to open the hood all the way?
Not all the way, but I just don't want the hood to fall on me.
No, it's not gonna fall on you. I got it.
All right, hold on. Push it down a little. Let it go. Just a hair.
No, I'm letting it go. It still has a lot of pressure.
Yeah, there.
You want me to
No.
lower it a little bit? Or raise it? Really what you want. You want to open the shock.
Well, the thing is, I have a lot of
Yeah,
tension.
no. If you open it...
Oh, open it? No.
No.
Close it? All right, chill.
Yeah, okay.
Trying to take a little tension off. Let me get a rag.
Get the cool hinges, they said. Get the cool hinges.
Aye.
She just kept the OG one. Just painted them.
Oh,
OG
yeah,
Christian's easy peasy chrome.
Yeah.
Let it go a little bit. Like let the
The hinge open.
go.
It's already all the way.
All right. I'm just trying to see. All right. I think that's a good spot there. Let me get
Got a little bit of persuasion.
a little bit, just a little bit. I just don't want to mar up the.
You know what's funny?
What?
When you put it on, you were like, man, that's the easiest shock I've ever put on before.
Yeah, you really.
All right.
There you go.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
That's going to make a difference. I think.
All right.
I'll take the other one off too.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to do. But it's just something's up, you know.
It's the hood right now.
Well, yeah, the hood is up.
Aha, see what I did there?
You always have these out of
Awesome jokes.
yeah. Oh,
Oh,
sure.
thanks.
Tons of awesome jokes. All right. All right. All right.
Here we go. Going down.
Nope. Not even close.
No, look at this, how far it is.
Bro, it needs to be notched.
What's that mean?
Okay, so from what I'm looking at here,
The hinges don't even collapse all the way down.
okay, get in there really good. Okay, let me see what.
Oh my god, bro.
I have to notch the firewall. All right, open, stay right there in the camera. Open that again. Okay, you see that? Shit, what happened there? Okay, you see this here, guys? And this section here? This is telling me that I have to notch this down so this can collapse into a channel. What the fuck? That's not a bolt-on. Lift it up again, huh?
It's close. It's not even close. Maybe they sent you the wrong ones.
Oh, bro. Is it heavy to hold it?
Well, you know, I'll hold it for a little while, but
Let me see. Oh,
You should call them maybe.
oh yeah,
you
this is
should call them
heavy.
because you may not even have the right ones.
All right, give me. Let's put at least one
Is it
shot
heavy
back.
to hold it?
Yeah, it's heavy to hold it.
Just lay it down and figure it out first. Call them first. You already know that that's a problem because the hinge is completely sitting on you. That's why it doesn't come down. And actually, even if it came down, it's so weird because you're a quarter inch over your header in the front. You're also a quarter inch over here. It's almost as if the hood grew. It's all that clear coat, bro. That Southern polyurethane is clear. It's so good that the panels grow.
This one's not really sitting on the.
Drop the Glitz. I'm gonna help you. This side is.
This side is. Damn, that's a lot to notch, bro. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Custom car building, right? Never as simple as it is. So, if you want to come down here, I'll show you what I'm trying to look at. It's hard for the camera to catch it. Let's get your camera and put the camera in there. I'm looking at the channel back there. Here, move it a little bit to the side. Move it this side. I'm trying to catch, and I want to see how the hood, falls down. I know it's hard to see, but there's a notch. That notch that's back there, but I'm noticing it's not completely sitting. Over here it doesn't sit. Here it partially sits. But I'm gonna see if I can try to notch this and drop this more down, and that might give me the clearance I'm looking for. All right, so if you guys didn't know, this is not working. I'll show you real quick here. I try to make it work. The hinges are just too high. We went through completely, and there's no way to get this to work. So we're gonna end up just taking these off. I reached out to Eddie Motorsports and they said they'll let me return them, so we're gonna return them. It's been a year, so it was in good faith. They're really being really awesome to return these, but it just didn't work out for the 68 Caprice.